Welcome back, golfers. Today we're going to talk about the foundational aspects of how our knees and our feet should be moving in the golf swing. So stay tuned. So the title of this week's video was 3 pivots and a stabilizer. So what I mean by that is if you look at your feet are 3 pivots and a stabilizer. So the right foot is your stabilizer on the backswing. It's also a pivot on the downswing. And then the left foot is a pivot on the backswing. And it also has a pivot forward and through on the follow through. So 3 pivots and a stabilizer. So we're gonna get a little bit different perspective here. So this is kind of the perspective that we have looking down. So what I want to see in our setup is first, the right foot is sitting square. That's our stabilizer and 1 pivot. The left foot, or our lead foot, is slightly flared out. And if you look at it perpendicular, it's going to perpendicularly look towards that right toe. Now this left foot, or the lead foot, has 2 pivots. It's going to pivot this direction, and it's going to pivot this direction. You know, the pivot in on the backswing is going to help stabilize the right side and allow our hips to open up when we do that. So if we think of our knees here, our left knee is going to move towards the right toe, right there. That's going to open up the hips. The right foot's going to stabilize. The right hip's not going to, the trail hip's not going to slide out. And then that'll get us into our load in our backswing. From the transition, the left knee shifts left. It'll shift left, and we're going to start driving with that right foot. You know, just like if you throw a ball, first move, you're from the ground, you're using the ground forces, and you're starting to press to the left. So we're stable on the right side, then we start pressing through that ground forces in our trail foot. That left knee or lead knee moves out to the left, opening up our hips, or squaring up our hips through the transition, widens the knees. And then from here, from the transition, we're going to start letting the right foot is going to start turning in. It's going to pivot towards our target into impact. Shoelaces are coming down. Left knee is starting to straighten up as we come into impact. Now the pivot into our left side is going to start happening. And that foot's now going to start working around our hip. You know, that pivot's going to help round out that hip and get to our, you know, there's impact, then there's finish. And you can see all that weight on the front of that foot is all the way on the outside of it. There's fine too, but I'm all the way to the point where I could pick up that back foot. All the weight shifted to my front side. It helps get my hip around, helps get my knees straight, other knees together. My hip is on top of that heel, and my toe in the back is up, but it's mainly there just for support because I could pick it up. So we get toe up, knees together, hips square to the target, belly button to the finish. So if you've watched any of my videos, I believe strongly in, after setup, the footwork in the body, meaning the feet to the hips, the foundation of our swing is critical to create consistent impact, solid contact with the golf ball, centered hits, and more power through the shot. If we do it correctly, our lower body will do most of the work, where the upper body will just be more passive. So if you listen to interviews with PGA Tour players, and they've said, well, I swing at 50, 60, maybe 70%, maybe 80% at most. They don't go, you know, pros don't say, I go 100% at everything. They don't say that. Because what they're feeling, like most golfers, is they're feeling what that percentage is in their hands and their upper body. So the pros are saying, I'm going 50 to maybe 80% with their upper body. That being said, they are going 100% from down here, unless it's like a pitch shot or a chip shot. From the hips down, they go all out. They want to create more power, they're doing it from here. And then the upper body, because of that, creates speed for the hands. Because the body's moving fast, the hands will move fast. It's like throwing a pitch. If the hips and the body moves fast, the hands move fast. If you think of when you're throwing a pitch, how tight are those arms? If they're tight, you're not throwing it fast. If they're loose, your hands will go fast. You're using the big muscles, the abs, glutes, and the hips, which are there for those are the strong parts of our body that we need to use to create the speed that we want to create. So if you guys get anything out of this, make sure you focus on that nice solid balance in your feet. You should feel that weight sitting in your arches. It should always move towards the target. Stabilize in that backswing. Don't let this hip slide out. This is going to kill your ability to create lag on the downswing. So you stabilize in that right side or your trail side into that right foot. You're going to start driving from there, from the ground, right there. You think of it like a pitch. That's the move. We're doing it from the ground, which helps open up that knee. And then from there, rotating, driving that pivot in the right foot, and then pivoting, you're pivoted already in the lead foot, and you're gonna pivot to the outside on that lead foot as well to the finish. We get to a nice balanced finish. We're gonna get solid contact. We'll get ball, then turf with those irons, which is what we wanna see. And you're gonna hit the ball much more consistent in the middle of the face. There's a reason why when you see pros clubs, they've worn out the center of their face. It's because their footwork is amazing. Their swing might not look the same. Every golfer's swing might not look the same, but watch their footwork. Almost every pro shifts and transitions and moves through their pivots in their feet and their knees almost identical. If you got anything out of this video, hit that subscribe button. I put out videos once a week. Check out my other videos on the channel. And remember, if your feet aren't working, your swing's not working. Catch you guys next time.